Okay, hello! Welcome to the walkthrough on creating custom Z-Mech animations in 3ds Max for Unreal 4. In this video, we'll take a look at the free source files you can download and explore to practice and learn about animation for video games, or to produce your own custom animations as a supplement to the Z-Mech character in Unreal 4, which can be purchased from the Unreal Marketplace. The pack of source files can be downloaded for free at this website. The link is available below the video. But if we go here, this will take us to a box.com download that you can, it'll have all the folders here, but you can just click this download here at the top, and let's go OK, and then it'll begin downloading all these folders and files. Any animations you create for the character are your creation, so you can use those for your own personal projects or for commercial projects totally freely. I just want those to be available to anybody to use however they want to. However, the model and the textures, if you want to use those for a commercial project, those need to be purchased through the Unreal Marketplace. Okay, so when that's finished downloading, I have that available here. So you can see we have three different folders in here. We have Diffuse Textures, Export for Unreal, and Max Scenes. We'll start by looking at the Max Scenes folder. Here we have a collection of files that can be opened in 3D Studio Max and can be used to edit and create animations for the mech character in Unreal. Z-Mech Animate is the primary file for this. The model file is simply a backup in case the animate file gets overwritten or changed somehow in the animation process, so that you can just duplicate that again and have another clean animate file. The legacy models is the same thing, but they're saved as Max 2012 files so that you can open them in older versions of Max. The current animation files, these are only saved as Max 2014. They're just for those of you who are curious what the animations look like in 3ds Max and how to, and if you're curious and interested in editing them or making adjustments to those animations that already exist. Alright, we'll go back up to the Diffuse Textures folder. The Diffuse Textures folder contains only the base color maps for the mech character. They're saved at half resolution and are meant for use in 3ds Max on the model so it looks nice while you create new animation sequences. The full-res base color textures, as well as the normal maps, metallic, spec, and roughness maps, are included with the Z-Mech asset available on the Unreal Marketplace. The Export for Unreal folder contains assets that are ready to import straight into a project in the Unreal Editor. The Rigged Mech Mesh folder contains the mesh with skeletal rig information. And the Animations folder contains a collection of basic animation sequences that can be used with the skeletal mesh. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over into Unreal and quickly demonstrate how simple it is to bring these assets into the Unreal Editor and view them in a game project. So here I am in a new level, and I'm going to go back into my Export for Unreal into the Rigged Mech Mesh folder. And all I'm going to do is drag this Rigged Mech Mesh down into the content browser window. And it'll give me my FBX import options. I want to import mesh, import a skeletal. It has its own skeleton, so I don't need to assign it an existing one. And disable materials and textures. And import. It'll give me a bunch of errors, no problem. And now we can see we have our assets loaded in. We can load the Rigged Mech mesh into our scene. I'm going to get rid of this little guy here. And right now he's untextured. You can throw the diffuse textures onto him, or you can purchase the full textured model from the Unreal Marketplace. So right now you'll notice he's not moving at all, and that's because we don't have any animations assigned to him. And we don't have any loaded in. So if we go back to our source files here into the animations folder, I'm going to take the idle animation and just drag that back into the folder here. Oops, I forgot. Cancel that. We need to save our assets. So I'm going to go to File, Save All. Save. Okay, so now it will recognize that these animations are built for that skeleton. Okay, so I'm going to take the Mech Anim Idle animation and drag that into my content browser. I will check import as skeletal. Oh good, there we go. So now it switches to just say skeleton. So that means that it has recognized that this is an animation file that can be linked to this existing prop. So if I pick our mech rigged mesh skeleton, it'll automatically detect to animate or to bring in animation for the exported time, and that's really all there is to it. Just click import, and now on our model we can go over to animation mode and select to use an animation asset. And which anim to play? We can just take our idle animation and drag that straight onto the anim to play. And let's do a simulate. And you can see now he's standing there, he's using our idle animation, and it's playing well on our untextured model. Now the textures right now don't exist on this character, so he's just a gray model, and that doesn't look too nice if you want to do a nice preview or a screen capture of one of the animations that you spent a lot of time building. So I'll quickly demonstrate how to do that. Create a new folder here, and I'm just going to call it textures. So I'll open that, and then I'm going to go back up into my SourceFiles folder, into the diffuse textures, and drag all of those into the content window. So it'll import all those, and I'm going to quickly just save all, because this takes a few seconds just to do this. Okay, so now we have our textures loaded in, but we need a material that we can use to actually apply those onto the character. So I'm going to create, right-click in here, create a new material, and I'm going to name this after the first of my textures, which is Z-Mech low poly arms. So I'm just going to name this material arms. And then I'm going to create another new material and name this material head chest, like the second one. And then I'll make a new one, material legs, and then material torso 2. Okay, so I'm going to open all of those, and I'm going to drag this window down from the top tab into the screen so I can see my textures down at the bottom while I'm working on this. So we have a base color slot, whatever slot thing here, and that's where the textures go. So let's take our arms base color and connect that in here. And that's all there's to it. I'll just save that, and I'm going to open the rest of my materials here. And we've got our head chest. We'll create our head chest map and connect that into base color. Same with legs. Connect. And same with torso 2. Okay. I'll close those, save. Okay, with those all saved, now they're ready to be used on our character. So I'm going to open up my, go back up one level, and open up my mech rigged mesh. And also I'm going to take this and drag it down into the window so I can see my textures. I'll give myself a little more room here. And now I can see what I'm working on. Okay, and here under the mesh tab, on the side we have these elements, which are where we put our textures. And we can see which ones they are on the model by clicking this highlight checkbox. So with that in mind, I'm just going to go back into my textures, find my materials, and find out where the head chest is. So I'll drag my head chest into that. My element 2 is arms, so I'll put arms there. Top guy is legs, put legs there. And then this third one is the torso 2. So if I put all those in, I'll save that. And now you can see if I close that and we're back in our window. If I simulate this, now we're here, he's moving, he has the textures applied to him, and he's animated. This is a low quality preview of these textures. Right now there's no normal map interaction with the lighting, and there's no specular or metallic or roughness maps that really make it shine. But I feel it's sufficient if you want to preview an animation or do a screen capture showing off what you've done. Alright, that's all for the overview of the source files. You can use them as a free rig to practice animation on your own in 3ds Max, or you can use them to explore importing and using animation sequences in Unreal. In the next video, we'll go over how to create a new animation for this character.